impersonal Brahman.
Okay.
So they are thinking that impersonal Brahman is the highest, and Vaikuntha and the Lord's form is all inferior to impersonal Brahman.
Okay.
That's what is their thought process.
Okay.
But when they saw the Lord, then they understood actually their thought process is wrong. The personal form is the highest, and the impersonal is just an aspect of the personal form. Previously they were thinking reverse.
How they understood the reverse by seeing the Lord?
By actually smelling that tulsi. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjalka tushna mishra tulasi makaranda vayu. The aroma of the lotus seed mixed with the pollen of the pollen which had fallen from his forest flowers, which is also mixed with the tulsi. That aroma they smelled, and that aroma, by that aroma, tulsi gave them association. Okay, just by that aroma, tulsi actually gave them association. By association of tulsi, their impersonalist understanding got purified.
Body and mind changed.
Yeah.
First they see the Lord, no?
Yeah.
So that also effect
Yes. So
should be there.
yes, the effect is of that is also there, but what they felt first was the aroma. Before they saw the Lord, already that aroma came. That they were able to smell that aroma, and that aroma went into the consciousness and it purified the consciousness.
Body and mind.
And then they were also seeing the Lord. Then they confirmed, oh, this is the Supreme Lord Brahma is talking, our Father is talking about.
Prabhupada is writing the purport that Lord wanted to sow his lotus seed so that their impersonal idea can go away.
Yeah.
Okay, so searching after the Vaikuntha, they went there
Yes.
to see whether Brahmajyoti is ultimate or Vaikuntha form is ultimate.
No, they just wanted to see the form of the Lord because they got that description from their fathers, So they were curious to see the form of the Lord.
But they were used to believe that that form is
Coming from
transformation
impersonal.
of-
Yeah.
How they got this impersonal understanding? Because it's previous chapter they said that when Brahma created the four Kumaras, they said they were worshipper of Lord. So it's Vasudeva Parayan, because they are attached to the form of Lord.
Yeah. But initially when they were, generally Brahmas are, the Kumaras are known as devotees, they are not known as impersonalists. But in the beginning, like Sukadeva Goswami, whenever he is described as a devotee, but in the beginning he was also Brahmavadi. Sukadeva Goswami also beginning Brahmavadi. So in the beginning they were Brahmavadis, then they saw the Lord and then they became, that impersonal contamination went away from them.
The beginning itself, by birth.
By birth they were Brahmavadis. See, none of them have independent birth, you have to understand this. See, all this comes because of bodily conception of life. All this kind of confusion comes because of bodily conception of life. We think that body is independently born and body is independently finished. It's not like that. Everybody has a backstory.
From the previous.
There is previous life for everybody. So this is the understanding that I am the spirit soul. Means no one is coming with a clean account. Everybody has a baggage. Whether it is Brahma or the Kumaras or the great personalities, any of them, they are coming with their own baggage. If there is no baggage, you should be in Vaikuntha. It's as simple as that.
Nitya Siddhas coming in. No?
That's an exception. We are not talking about exceptions. We are talking about general rule. Okay. So everybody comes with a baggage. Okay. So everyone has a backstory. Everyone comes with a baggage. Everyone has their previous karma. Their previous karma is affecting their present consciousness. This is what is the understanding that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. Means that we understand that everyone is carrying something from their previous life.
Sometimes it looks like they are very pure devotees because Sukadeva Goswami, he was knowing that Maya can trap me.
Yeah, that all Brahmavadis know.
So
Even Mayavadis know that. Anyone who actually understands that I am a spirit soul knows this fact that Maya can trap. That is not something, knowing that Maya will trap is not something which is great.
But the second part, like he wanted assurance from the Lord because he was knowing that this Maya is energy.
Because he was thinking, according to him, he was thinking that Krishna is this, he has come from Parabrahman. The personification of that Parabrahman, that Brahmajyoti, that Parabrahma, the personification of that Parabrahma is Krishna. Many of the Brahmavadis think like that. Krishna is the perfect manifestation of Brahman in mode of goodness.
Yeah, mode of goodness.
Yeah. Many of them think like that.
So what is that philosophy called, something Brahma Parivartan or something? No?
What was the point you made just before Prabhuji mentioned that about Brahma and word of goodness?
The impersonalists think that Krishna is Brahman in the mode of goodness. Okay?
Oh Lord,
Yeah, please.
O Lord, we therefore offer our respectful obeisance unto your eternal form as the personality of Godhead, which you have so kindly manifested before us. Your supreme eternal form cannot be seen by unfortunate, less intelligent persons, but we are so much satisfied in our mind and vision to see it.
Yeah, so they are acknowledging that those who are in Vaikuntha, they are actually supremely intelligent and they are very fortunate. But those who cannot see that eternal form, they are actually unfortunate. Means they are actually accepting their position. That we are unfortunate, we are less intelligent. And now we are able to see your form, so we are satisfied with it. So that's the point. So they basically realize that they messed up.
Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, please read.
The significance of the dormants being of the same age that in the Vaikuntha planets there is no old age. So one cannot distinguish who is older and who.
Yeah, so Vaikuntha planet is like that. That everybody is, there's no old age there. Nobody is old, everybody is young. So there's no distinction that, oh, this person is older, this person is younger, like that. There's no distinction. Yes, Mithun?
They look also similar to Vishnu, right?
Yes. Those who have Sarupya Mukti, they look similar to Vishnu. There are different type of Mukti. Those who have Sarupya Mukti, they look similar to Vishnu. The only difference is that they don't have the Srivatsa and they don't have the Kaustubhajam. So by Kaustubhajam and Srivatsa, then we can make the distinguish. We can distinguish that, oh, this is just servant, is not the Lord. Yeah.
Just to make it clear, in Vaikuntha there may be, as Prabhupada explained, no distinction of age. But in higher realm, like let's say Ayodhya, Dwarka, or so on, there is gradation like parents.
Yeah, yeah, but they are all young. It's not like they are old. They are all young and they are of same age. I mean, it's not like the same age means there is distinction between older and younger. Okay, but all of them are like having young, nice bodies.
Because there is like Mukara.
Yeah.
In the Nectar devotion, she's like described as an old monkey.
Yeah.
She's eternally old, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Old means they understand that they are old, but their bodies are not old and invalid. They don't have the effect of old age, but they are understood as old. Yeah, you understood, no? They are understood as old, but their bodies are not affected. The bodies, they are not deteriorated by here. Here, the moment we say old, means that we equate old to bodily deterioration. Right? When you say old man, we think that his body has deteriorated, he is like, you have a whole image of being old. That image doesn't fit there. They are old by their consciousness and by their relationship, but their body is not deteriorated. You understand? What I'm saying. The body is like fresh. There's no deterioration of the body.
So it's a fresh old monkey.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, please read.
The great sages, namely Sanaka, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar, although very old in years, maintained themselves eternally as small children. They were not at all duplicitous, and they entered the doors exactly as little children enter places without any idea of what it is to trespass. That is a child's nature. A child can enter any place and no one checks him. Instead, a child is generally welcome in his attempt to go places. But if it so happens that a child is checked from entering a door, he naturally becomes very sorry and angry. And an ordinary child would cry. But because these were not ordinary children, they immediately made preparations to punish the doormen, for the doormen had committed a great offense. The Kumaras were the Kumaras were older than all other living creatures and had realized the truth of the self. Such saints were not to be forbidden to enter the kingdom of Vaikuntha, but by chance the doormen objected to their entrance. This was not fitting. The Lord is always anxious to serve sages like the Kumaras, but in spite of knowing this fact, the doormen astonishingly and outrageously forbid them from entering.
Yes.
Should we acknowledge that there could be many visitors like this? Because the Kumars are from one universe, but there is infinity of universes as well.
I don't know if there could be many visitors. We should ask Jaya and Vijaya. But, so many people now.
But like it is also qualification is required to. Because
Yeah, but the
the
point is that what he's saying is that there could be qualified people from other universes who are like that who could come and visit the Lord, like Durvasa went. But at least we hear only two visitors, Durvasa and Kumaras.
Brigo as well, no?
Yeah, Bhrigu, yeah, three visitors. We don't hear that
Many.
many visitors.
Brigu could enter into Vaikuntha. Yeah.
And Narada as well.
Narada is like a Vaikuntha man who is roaming everywhere else. He is not like he is here man who is entering there. He is Vaikuntha man who is roaming everywhere else. So he is a different case. Sometimes we have to be careful. Not offense, but I'm just saying sometimes we have to have careful understanding of who belongs where.
So Brigu, how he could enter into Vaikuntha and that
Let's ask Bhrigu what he did.
like
My understanding is he went and saw Vishnu.
okay,
He went and saw Vishnu.
like Garbhodakasha.
Garbhodakasha Vishnu. Like he went and saw Vishnu. Because the Lord was sleeping, so he went and kicked in his chest, and then the Lord said that your feet is so soft, I don't know, maybe it hurt. But Lakshmi was very angry because Lakshmi resides in the chest. That's the whole story of Balaji, the pastime of Balaji, how he came.
Yeah.
That has happened last Kali Yuga. The Tirupati Balaji, you know Tirupati? In Tirupati there is Balaji.
Balaji.
Huh?
No, not Balaji.
This is the Lord who is standing there in Tirupati. Vishnu is there in Tirupati. In Tirupati, there is Vishnu. Okay, he is a deity of last Kali Yuga. So he is called Balaji. So when this pastime happened, that when Bhrigu actually went and kicked him, then he kicked him in the chest. So it is said that Bhrigu had actually eye in his feet. He had a third eye in his feet.
Ankara.
Huh?
Brigu.
You go.
Ego Ankara.
So that's why he was very proud. So the Lord actually, he was massaging his feet. In the process of massaging his feet, he also removed the third eye of Bhrigu. So anyway, Lakshmi got very angry and then she left. she left and then she went to do some tapasya because this Lakshmi's residing place is the Lord's heart, and somebody kicked there, and the Lord didn't punish him. So Lakshmi's wife, somebody kicks me, you don't even punish this guy. What is this nonsense going on? This is my residence, somebody is kicking. So you have no respect for me? Then she fought with him and then she went. And then she went to do tapasya. And then the Lord, he became bereft of Lakshmi, and then he was looking for her everywhere. He came out of Vaikuntha, he went and looked for her everywhere. And then finally he went to the Venkatadri, and then he was...
Lakshmi Devi is in Lord's heart, na?
Yeah.
And she leaving Lord and going for penance to what? Satisfy Lord.
Yeah, she went and she did penance. So then he he went, he was staying in Venkatadri, and he took permission from Varahadev, because originally that place belongs to Varahadev. So he took permission, Tirupati.
Tirupati.
Tirupati is Vara?
Yeah,
Please.
Varasetra.
yeah. So he took permission from Varahadev, and then he was staying there, and then Lakshmi was born to the king there as Padmavati. Then he went and then he got married to her. Then he didn't have any money to get married to her, no money to give dowry. So because Lakshmi was not there with him, so he didn't have any money. So no dowry, he couldn't give dowry. So he borrowed money from Kubera, and then he paid for his marriage expenses, and then he got married. And then Kubera said, okay, you have to give me interest so much. And that interest from last Kali Yuga till now, the Lord is paying to Kubera. That's why when people go to Tirupati, they put a lot of money so that they can actually pay for the interest payment of the Lord. So it's very complicated stuff.
And the temple is there from that time, or temple they reconstructed?
Yeah, it is there from that time.
Temple
I mean,
they
the
reconstructed.
deity and temple are there from, the main sanctum is supposed to be there from that time.
Oh, from last Kali Yuga.
His wife takes this leela.
The purpose what we see just now.
Yeah,
Its purpose is, according to purpose includes
Yeah.
it's fault of the doorkeepers.
wait. Prabhupada actually plays with, sometimes Prabhupada actually plays with the pastime. He also keep the suspense. He doesn't want to break the suspense.
Later he will tell.
He want to keep, like even with you will see the next unit also. Like Prabhupada actually keeps playing with the Kardama's character. He thinks, Kardama says, I am a useless guy, you can't find anybody more useless than me. I just want a wife to enjoy. And then Prabhupada says, oh, these Sapakama devotees are like this, said so many things Prabhupada said. Finally, in the last chapter when Kardama leaves Brahma, where Brahma comes and Kardama leaves, that time Prabhupada glorifies Kardama. Oh, Kardama is like this, Kardama is like that. So, till the time actually you don't go to the last chapter, you don't really find the actual person Kardama, that what he is and why he is doing so many things. Till the time you think that Kardama, okay, he's a devotee, but he wants to get married, he wants to have a royal honeymoon, he wants to enjoy with his wife, he made airplane house and he went everywhere. This is all you think about Kardama. But when you come in the end, then you know who is really Kardama. So sometimes the pastime itself keeps some suspense. And Prabhupada actually plays along with that suspense. He doesn't break the suspense in between. He just lets the suspense go. So if you just go through this, you will find that the suspense is broken in the end. Okay, please read.
The sannyasi's duty is to enlighten people in Krishna consciousness. Those in renounced order of life have no other business than preaching the glories and supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Vedic sociological conception is that a sannyasi should not be restricted. He is allowed to go anywhere and everywhere he wants, and he is not refused any gift he might demand from a householder.
Yeah, generally this is the system.
No one can be a greater well-wishing friend to any living entity other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is so kindly disposed towards everyone that in spite of our completely forgetting our relationship with the Supreme Lord, he comes himself, sometimes personally, as Lord Krishna appeared on this earth, and sometimes as his devotee, as did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And sometimes he sends his bona fide devotees to reclaim all the fallen souls. Therefore, he is the greatest well-wishing friend of everyone, and the Kumaras wanted to see him. In this verse, it is figuratively stated that the younger brother of desire suddenly appeared in person when the sages were forbidden to see their most beloved personality of Godhead. The younger brother of desire is anger. Therefore, the theory that in the perfectional stage one should not have anger is not supported in this verse. Anger will continue even in the liberated stage. These four mendicant brothers, the Kumaras, were considered liberated persons, but still they were angry because they were restricted in their service to the Lord. The difference between the anger of an ordinary person and that of a liberated person is that an ordinary person becomes angry because his sense desires are not being fulfilled, whereas a liberated person like Kumaras become angry when restricted in the discharge of their duties for serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so in next situation, Prabhupada discusses the two types of anger. You remember that Prabhupada discusses two types of anger. That avirodha priti and virodha yukta krodha. So avirodha priti means unrestricted attachment, and virodha yukta krodha means anger which arises from frustration. So the anger of Kumaras is not like that. Because they wanted to see the Lord and they were restricted from the Lord, so they became angry. It's not like because of loss of sense gratification. Okay, please read, continue.
This point is very important. Becoming liberated does not necessitate losing one's sensual activities. Sense activities continue even in the liberated stage. The difference is, however, that sense activities in liberation are accepted only in connection with Krishna consciousness, whereas sense activities in the conditioned stage are enacted for personal sense gratification.
Atmendra pritivancha tare balikama krishnendra pritivancha dhare premanama.
To like now the sannyasi, if they ask what the standards should be, like Jai Prabhupada is saying that sannyasi whatever he has to, the householder he is to give.
Yeah, but then the other purports where Prabhupada says that in the first canto, especially if you studied first canto, there is the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. And in that purport, Prabhupada actually elaborately discusses the role of a sannyasi with respect to householder. He says a sannyasi should not go and beg the householder if he cannot give him proper spiritual instruction. He says a sannyasi should not stay in the householder for sense gratification. He should not utilize this householder for fulfilling his material desire. He should contribute some literature. So many things Prabhupada says that what are the duties of sannyasis. That there's one purport where there is elaborate description of what is the duty of sannyasi. Where that verse it says that Sukadeva Goswami would only stay for the time of the milking, and he would accept only 1 pound of milk from the householder. So if you read that purport actually Prabhupada makes it clear that what is the duty of the sannyasi. So it works both ways. It's not like one-way traffic. It works both ways. But in general, it is found that the householder should not refuse a sannyasi's request. Like you find in Villamangal Thakur's history, that he got attracted to the wife of a householder where he actually gave him some food. So then, because he was looking like a mendicant, and he told his householder said, how can I further satisfy you? Then Villamangal Thakur said, oh, your wife looks so beautiful, I want to spend some time with her. Then he says, okay, that's what you desire. So it's okay, fine. Then he tells his wife that he is our guest and he desires to spend some time with you. You go and spend some time with him. And then she agrees, yeah, okay, you are my husband, if you say that, I'll do it. And then she goes and then she tells him, how can I satisfy you? Then Villamangal Thakur says, please give me your hairpin. And then he takes the hairpin and then he...
Eyes, yes.
And then he says that as long as his eyes is there, they are going to be captivated by material beauty. Just finish his eyes, that's it.
Oh, what are the two angles can you mention?
So,
Sanskrit.
the principle is that she did try to satisfy him. Even though that request was inappropriate, they still followed the dharma of trying to satisfy the mendicant. Yeah, what is that?
The Sanskrit and
It's there in Nectar of Instruction purport. Avirodha Priti and Virodha Yukta Krodha. The Prabhupada actually quotes from Anuvritti commentary, which is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary. In Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada has translated Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave a commentary to Nectar of Instruction. That's called Anuvritti. So Prabhupada has translated Anuvritti in his own commentary, and he has appended that with his own commentary. You will find that in Anuvritti. Okay, please read.
It's your turn.
He is in ecstasy.
It has been analyzed by great personalities that when a conditioned soul is liberated and becomes a devotee, about 79% of all the qualities of the Lord develop in his person. Here in this material world, the citizens may be inimical to the chief executive or heads of state, but in Vaikuntha there is no such mentality. It may be said that a doorman's duty is to determine who should be allowed to enter the palace and who should not. But what is not relevant in this matter, because no one is allowed to enter the Vaikuntha palace unless he has developed 100% his mentality of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. No enemy of the Lord can enter Vaikuntha alone. The Kumaras concluded that the only reason for the doormans checking them was that the doormen themselves were impostors.
Yeah, so this is their misconception that only enemies should be stopped. But it's not that only enemies should be stopped. Because Lord is a person, then Lord also, even within meeting his devotees, the Lord also, there is time and there is circumstance. It's not that every time everybody can enter. So this is about understanding how to deal with a person. You are going to see a person, then you should also understand that it's not that you can do whatever with that person. You have to actually understand the feelings of that person also when you deal with him. So because the Kumaras, their understanding was somewhat impersonal, they did not appreciate that fine feelings of what is appropriate and what is inappropriate. So they were concluding that, these people are enemies. It's not that necessarily that they should be enemies, that the doormen are there to stop the enemies. Of course there's no enemy in Vaikuntha. But the doormen are there because the Lord is a person, and then he likes to be what he is. And then sometimes it's appropriate to meet the Lord, sometimes it's not appropriate to meet the Lord. So therefore the doormen have the discretion of when the Lord is to be allowed and when someone they should allow to see the Lord and when they should not be allowed to see the Lord. It doesn't mean that they are enemies. Yeah.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see many Brahmavadis or yogis and the lack of ability regarding etiquette, how to relate with the devotees, like Jhunga, Shringi,
Yes.
Dhruva Samuni, and they are the Kumaras. So should we understand that as long as you are not a pure devotee, you lack also of etiquette and ability to relate?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, that always be there, because the ability to properly relate and the ability to have proper etiquette, it comes with purity. That's why when Mahaprabhu actually tells Sanatana Goswami, he tells that you may be the greatest devotee, you are the greatest devotee, and by your touch the whole world can be purified. Yadyatpito tumito jagat pavana tumhara sparsha hoy, tumhara sparsha pavitra hoy deva muni gana. That everybody can be purified just by your touch. But still you should follow etiquette, because etiquette is the jewel of Vaishnava. Is Sadhura Bhushana, Sadhura Bhushana. That's a jewel of a Vaishnava. That's why we see that those who are very mature devotees, their etiquette is very nice.